Viennese Waltz, as you'll see this week, saw torture and tears. Laurie was treated to the sweet side of Val as they trained to recapture the magic with a Willy Wonka-inspired Viennese Waltz filled with pure imagination.
That these guys are under this week, because you know we've got this dance-off thing happening at the end of the show where they had to learn 3 different styles plus the dance they have to do. I mean, how much? I mean, give us the inside word. How much pressure is it on Tara and Sash this week?
Well,
to deliver, right?
Most weeks, right? They've always had one dance. You know, maybe they'll do a team dance, maybe they'll do like a little dance-off or something. But this they've had to prepare not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 routines, and in different ways too. Because I know.
Oh, it's crazy, man.
And that is the scariest thing about tonight, because right now they don't know how the show's going to go, right? Because they've got their solo dance, which they know they're going to do exactly the same. Then they have the possibility of doing, I think it's a salsa, a cha-cha, and a jive, but they don't know who with. One of them's not going to do it anyway because they're going to be immune, which is why they're going to fight so hard to get their solo dance perfect.
Yeah.
And you don't know, like, what, depending on who gets picked to go, you know, with who. One couple might be dancing first in that team dance-off, or another couple might be dancing second.
And look, if you're sitting there going, man, I'm kind of confused, don't worry. We're going to explain it to you. The main thing we need to focus on right now, thank you, yes. I mean, the audience is going crazy, and it's easy to understand why. We have 7 dancers on the way. One of them will be immune from this whole challenge. They will not be eliminated tonight. And that's the focus right now. I think Tara and Sash did a great job, but we've got some great dancers on the way.
Yeah.
I guess the big question, and I can see him right there just about to step in, you know, for James to have to get up there and do a great job, which we've seen in the dress rehearsal, under the pressure of not having Shana there. We just did an interview with her, and she said 100% she will be back this season.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
But
we know that.
Talk about the difficulties of that.
Well, that's difficult for both of them. I think it's really frustrating for Shana. I was really heartbroken when I heard about that. Shana actually had a reconstructed knee. She had that surgery a while ago, and that is the knee that she's injured, which has made it really difficult for her. I know she really wanted to be here, so I feel really, really heartbroken for her. But it's difficult because they have such a strong partnership too. Like, what do you do when you have to you have to dance with someone else, and it's not that person that you've been dancing with for like 10 or 11 weeks? It's really difficult. You
don't want to feel like you're kind of cheating on
the
person.
Stop and go is like, oh no, it's Shana and James, and then when Shana's not there. But I can tell you, she had a really big input along this whole thing with Jenna being there, you know, over the phone or things like that, video messaging. So she's had a really big input. She knows exactly what's going on.
Well, what she also revealed to us is the creative completely is her vision.
Oh, yeah, from the start.
From the start.
She's been
and obviously
talking
she was
about
like
this
saying, I would have liked to tweak and finesse it, so that's a shame that I can't be there. In some ways, though, James, to overcome this, it's incredible. You know what I mean? And it really, I think, to the people watching at home, to you guys, it really just shows, wow, this is a real challenge for James as a celebrity.
Oh, yeah, because he's now putting his trust into someone else that he's never danced with, and he's going to have to perform on week 8, which is like really far along in the competition, with someone who isn't Shana, and put the trust into her. Yeah.
8 for Tara and Sash.
8, yeah. I think that personally, I think there could have been a 9 in there. It's a really good dance.
I think you probably thought there could have been a 10 in there.
Sasha's probably really hoping for a 9. So he might be a little bit upset about that. But vote.
Okay, cool. Well, look, speaking of James and Shana, Emma, you're going to be here all night long. We've got your head in a jar. We haven't even talked about that yet.
I know.
We're going to have a lot of fun. We want you guys to send all your questions and your comments. She looks beautiful. It always seems to be the way. Emma looks great, and I like kind of look like a mess.
Yeah, you just look a little bit dead. I'm sorry.
It's
and
not
you've
cool.
got something on your teeth as well.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad,
You should really
Emma.
brush your
bad.
teeth up.
You get out of here.
Get
out of here. And we are going to bring my boy James in here. And get the lowdown. Get the lowdown on exactly what's happening. So let's shut the door and let's find out who it is. It's my boy. Look at you. Look at me, look at you. We all look fabulous. I've got these guys to thank. They voted and they made me a zombie cheerleader. So
on a dead or dying or murdered, what kind of cheerleader?
Well, I think I would have been kind of like, you know, a little sassy sort of little cheerleader, and then boom, I'm done and now I'm a zombie. But it's not about me, James. It's about you. And there's a lot going on in your week this week. First of all, the fact that you lost the beard. Now, I was just talking to Shana about this.
Yeah.
We've managed to track down. This is actually James's beard.
I kept it. I left it in the sink in my trailer.
How many years has it been?
So it's been. I've only had it clean shaven once in the last decade, and that was back in 2012. So it's been 4 years. Over 4 years.
You look fabulous. I must
Well,
say.
that's because the beautiful makeup team here at Dancing with the Stars made me look like
How quick do you grow it? Are we going to have a beard by next week? Or
Yeah, we'll be good by next week.
Okay, good.
We'll be, luckily, it comes back pretty quick.
Well, look, as to one of our All Access super fans, you can win James's beard. All
Yes.
you've got to do is at DWTS All Access and tell us why you think you deserve James's beard.
Right.
And James is going to sign it.
I'm
going
going to
to
sign the bag.
He's going to sign the beard.
Spray some of my cologne in
It's
there.
huge. It's going to be amazing.
Off you
It's
go.
an incredible opportunity, guys.
Absolutely.
So
Once in a lifetime,
congratulations.
because I'll never do this again.
Now, we must talk about the big news for you, and that's Shana. We just had an interview with her, and,
Yes.
and I said, look, what are the chances you're going to be back on the ballroom floor? She said, 100%, I will be back. But tell us about the devastation for you as a celeb who's doing so well and has to kind of get the world turned upside down, because you want to be there for Shana as a friend, but you
Right.
also want to compete in the comp, you know?
And that's just it. I mean, for me, the devastation was as a friend, you know, to see someone get hurt and be in pain and not get to do what they love to do. That was the toughest part. You know, for me, then having to, you know, lose my... Look, I've only danced with one person my entire dancing career. All 2.5 months of it has been with one partner. And so, you know, it's almost like switching teams in sports, or, you know, switching engineers in racing would kind of be, you know, a similar sort of analogy there. And there is a kind of get to know you phase. There is a period where you have to learn how each other
in
works.
some ways, I feel for Jenna as well, you know, to kind of come
100%.
in, and she's like, oh, I want to make sure I do Shana's vision. Just do it right and do it justice.
Exactly right, and especially this week. I mean, Sharon and I have been talking about Halloween week.
We were saying,
since
you
week
kept coming
one.
up here and talking to us, going, I'm not going to reveal anything, but just get us to Halloween.
She was so excited about this one, and it's still creatively hers. I mean, it was her vision, it's her choreography. This is very much a Sharna Burgess production, just performed by Jenna and James.
Well, look, man, at Halloween, it's a fun time of year. Are you a prankster? I mean, we would imagine that you would be in that way. I mean, what's your Halloween vibe normally?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm a big fan of Halloween. It's always a fun night. The most stressful part about Halloween is just coming up with a good enough costume. I don't like half-assing things, you know, and this get-up turned out very well. I'm super...
Well, look, we're hearing from Periscope, Facebook Live out there. They're thinking you look hot right now.
I might actually keep the green hair and the dark eyes for a while, because I think there's something.
Man.
This is actually my natural skin tone. I'm naturally this pale, so that's easy.
Yeah, we got to get a spray tan, man. I think they do. Someone around here get some spray tans.
They made me do that in week 6, and
you were
that
like,
was
never again.
That was it.
You say no to the spray tans.
No spray
James
tans.
is done with it.
Can't
well,
do
look,
it.
We're always trying to make more money up here at All Access.
Yeah,
okay?
of course.
So what we've done is we're
Which
giving
is why
all of our...
I'm weirded out you didn't sell the beard hair. rather than
Well,
just give it
no,
away, but
because
that's fine.
we knew we had this thing up
Oh,
our
okay.
sleeve.
All right.
We're going to get all of our celebs tonight to pitch their Halloween candy bar, okay? And we've come up with this one here.
Yeah.
Cue the music. It's called the Hinch Cliff Bar.
Right.
Okay.
The Hinch Cliff Bar.
Tell us why we should
Well, it's
purchase
very
this.
nutritious.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's great for you. High in protein.
Yeah.
It's GMO-free,
Tara's a fan.
gluten-free, sugar-free, USDA organic.
Yeah.
I mean, it tastes like candy, but it's so good for you.
When your stomach is rumbling like a race engine, it's the perfect thing, isn't it?
and you want to hit the dance floor, and you
Yeah.
need that energy, that quick fix.
And I hear it's got Canadian maple in
Hinch
it.
Cliff Bar is your answer.
That's
It's got
it,
some.
man.
It's maple flavored.
Yeah,
of
it's got
course.
bacon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's incredible.
It's endorsed by the Prime Minister.
It's incredible. That was
You
good.
guys don't know what that is, but
That
yeah.
was really good. I don't think anyone's going to do better than that. Let's just get an extreme zoom.
Right.
There it is. Look,
You can be found in all your local retailers now, just $4.99.
that's a great deal. Thank you, James. We'll take a couple of questions before you shoot.
Of course.
Here we go.
Let's see what the beautiful fans of All Access have to say.
What do they know? James, give us your best Joker impression.
So it's bad because my better Joker impression was actually the Heath Ledger Joker.
Okay,
You know,
well,
he's
that's
like,
fine. You can
he's
be
like,
Heath.
why so serious? Is it the scars? Want to know how I got them? And he
Wow.
goes on and on from there. You know,
Because
it's,
I'm kind of a Harley Quinn in some ways.
you are. You
Yeah.
do kind of look like Jenna, actually.
If something happened with Jenna, you know
Right.
where to go, right?
You can tag in.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll
good
be-
to
I'll
know.
be there on the
I
thingy.
hope you know the waltz. Hope you know a Viennese waltz.
That would be bad. That would be bad for us. We'll take one more question, and you're out of here.
What were the early cars you learned to race in like? How fast did they go? It's a great question. I mean, the kind of entry level of car racing is a series called Formula 1600, 1.6 liter engine, about 140 horsepower. They only probably did 130 miles an hour, nothing too crazy, but a really good learning tool. And you kind of build up from it. It's like anything. You start kind of slow when you sort of build your way up as you move up the ladder.
All right. Well, look, great questions, guys. James has got to take off. He is getting called downstairs. Thank you so
I
much
got
for
this
coming up,
dancing
brother.
thing to do.
You're going to kill it.
Always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, thank
or
you so much.
woman or lady.
Yeah, just
I'm not
call
sure.
me, man, boy.
I like these.
Thank
All
you.
right. Take care.
All right. Thanks, James. And let me tell you, James's dance, which of course came from Shana's creative, is incredible, and it's coming up. They are last to dance, so they put them there for a reason. It's going to be interesting to see, perhaps, could they get the top score? They're in that slot, which is the last of all 7 dancers, you know, and the producers, sometimes they get tricky like that.
Like tricky, like putting my head thing on just now.
And I saw
Got
how
a big
long,
booth,
you know,
I'm trying to trap
that
it
hair
in my
is
little
amazing. It
thing.
took a crew
Your
to
hair
put it
looks
together.
amazing.
I
Look,
mean,
I gave you my stylist, and it really
can
paid
you
off.
believe the same people that did this to
Ew,
Emma did this
ew,
to
your
me?
hair is stuck in your
I
little
know,
wound.
It's
Ew.
a wound. I'm not going to make it to the end of the show. Now, what we are seeing right now is a very emotional Val.
Oh wow, I didn't see this.
There are tears. He's emotional. I think there was a lot going on for Val this week. I was talking to one of our producers, and he said, look, Max left, went to New York. And of course, so that's going on. And also, I think that he said that he really wants Laurie to have this incredible experience, and she's got this sort of young optimism, and her life is just starting, and so, you know, he really wants to give her this incredible journey, and I think that is so true to all of the pros, right? Part of your wanting to do well by the celebrity, because you just want this to be this awesome experience
Honestly,
they look back on and be like, whoa, that was so fun.
I think when when Laurie joined the show and she's paired with Val, there's a lot of expectation, like she's going to win, and everybody thought, and even still, you know, she's going to win. But lately they've not been getting the 10s that Val has been striving for. It's been a little bit more. They've had a bumpy ride, and it's not been kind of the plain sailing. Am I right in saying that? I think
Absolutely.
that's a little bit right. So,
that's exactly what the package that we've just seen.
His fear.
That's what it highlights, is that they don't feel that they are getting that momentum that they need. So this is a very important dance. She cleared her whole schedule, so she had no other commitments but Dancing with the Stars this week, because this dance meant that much to her. So let's just, for a second, segue into this dance, and you tell us if you see a dramatic improvement or what you think.
Well, I mean, I see a dramatic improvement, yes, and I saw this in the dress run. It's her arms. They're absolutely picture perfect, like so beautiful. And I agree, I've been waiting for this dance. I feel like they've been judged harshly. So some of the weeks I feel like it was undeserved, the harsh judging, and some of the weeks I feel like, yeah, that was pretty fair. But I do feel his frustration. I mean, she clearly was the front runner. I think other people have come through and at least matched her, and I think that fear from Val is very real. You know, like she could win, and if she doesn't, he feels that that's his fault. So I understand.
What I'm just liking is that he is a lot more fun and smiley and happy, you know?
Yeah.
He has always been somewhat of a serious, moody dancer. That's why he's so good.
Yeah, but
and now he's relaxed, and I think it's a lot to do with his relationship
dancing?
with her.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and just off camera, you know, when he's up here, he just...
Right.
He's a different Val we're getting to see this season, and we
love
it.
I think that is him hiding a lot of the time. That's what Val does. Oh, that's wonderful. I think he's under a lot of pressure. So look at, he's getting emotional. Oh my God, that makes me get really emotional, because I can see in his face, you know, at the end of that, like I feel like he wants to crack, but he's not going to because he's Val. But I feel like I could feel that just then. He wanted to crack at the end of it.
I really feel that
wonderful.
If you are a fan of these guys, you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to vote for them, because
that was wonderful.
Yeah, it was a wonderful performance. You can see how hard they are working, and also look, it's lovely to see the pro Val get so emotional. This means so much to him, and he just wants, you know, Laurie to sort of be here at the end. I think that they certainly have a place in that final. It's just, can they win the mirror ball?
Well, it's been more of a bumpy ride than I think that he thought. You know, it's not just how here's Laurie, here's your ticket to the mirror ball. Like it's you have to model an entire season and get it right, and there's so much pressure because it's pretty much expected of you. Do you see what I mean? Like, and I feel so sad. Like I feel sad watching him being that like predicament. But that was such a beautiful Viennese Waltz. Her hands were the best. So wonderful. So wonderful. Like, she was effortless, and I can't believe she's 16. Look how big her eyes are. Who has eyes that big? They're like cartwheels. She just looked beautiful in that dance. Like, it was a great big tick from me. Great big tick.
All right.
I'm going to let my fiance come in.
Yes.
Woohoo! He's
Hang
just
around,
waiting.
though. We're going to be doing this throw to the main show. Hey, girl.
Go, team, go.
So come on in. Look, we're all... Sash, how you doing, man?
Brother,
How's that shoulder? You all good?
it's all good.
Looking good. Everyone's looking good.
Hey, guess what I've got here? This. Oh,
All right,
oh
we've
my
got
gosh,
this.
that's so much heavier. So,
Look at this.
can you see that, guys?
Look at
Dom,
that,
did
it's
you
like
show
it's a
this?
head.
Is that Emma's head?
That's my
It's
head.
Emma's head.
Yeah,
It's
this is
amazing.
one I prepared earlier because
It's
pickled
insane.
heads. Pickled heads is a big delicacy in Dancing with the Stars. So,
Pickled heads.
do you like that, babe?
It reminds
Look
me
at
of
this. Here we
Hernandez.
go, guys. Guys.